We got some progress to report here in the hobby room. First off, the Roy Hill's Budget Capri is now finished. Try to get the right angle here. I think it came out really good. I'm happy with it. It's a, I think it's an MPC body. I only bought a body from some model show somewhere, so I never had a box to be exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure it's MPC. And Slicks had just come out with these new small sheets. One had the budget decals on, and one had the Motorcraft and Ford Motorsports, so I had to buy two sheets to be able to get these. And the sponsor decals are just, stuff I had left over. Pretty many of them are the right ones in the right placement of the real car. Some I just had to improvise because I didn't have everything. The Roy Hill name on the windows. Let me get something to point with here. The Roy Hill name on the windows. That came out for one of Slicks's mom and pop sheets. It actually said Royal Hills RV, and if you could cut around the extra stuff and get Roy Hill out of it. So that was pretty cool that it worked out like that. And I'll show you the back. The other side and the front. This car has a lot of my my resin cast parts on it. So that's kind of coming in handy by doing that. The headlight lenses, not sure how good of a shot I can get on them, but those are something that I cast. The wheels I cast. Nothing underneath except maybe the drive shaft. I believe that was one of my castings. The valve covers are my castings. The scoop, the spoiler, the parachute. So yeah, it definitely comes in handy making these parts. And it's not like I didn't have anything plastic to use, but it's nice when you can save your plastic because you never know when you're going to run out, how many projects you got. Like if you have 2 sets of these wheels and you got 5 cars you want to do, it's nice to be able to make your own. So that worked out pretty good. I'm happy with it. And some projects I got going on. You can see some floor pans here, and I'm thinking I'm going to make an attempt at making some resin pieces again, castings. Oh, almost forgot to mention the photo edge Zeus fasteners on the hood and on the hatch. Oh, and also those carburetors are my resin castings too. Sorry to keep getting off track here, go from one thing and back to the next, but anyway, I'm going to try to make those floor pans. And I have front wheels here for the Fiat that I painted, and I'm not sure what happened here. They're supposed to be chrome, and I'm kind of hoping I can buff them up. I painted them once and it was really humid and they turned dull and they wouldn't buff up. But I painted these the same time I did these valve covers, and they came out nice. But they had a nice black base where the wheels had a black base with a chrome paint that turned dull, and I went right over top of that. I maybe should have gone black again. And in the resin casting, I got another chassis pan here that I'm kind of working on. Get ready to try to make a mold of that. I've never had a successful floor pan mold, so I'm kind of hoping that maybe these will work out better than the first one. I've also got I got a couple of scoops set up with half the mold, and I've got a rear housing and some 4-link bars. And over here I've got other projects that I want to do. I'm going to mold leaf springs to go with that 66 Nova chassis pan that's over here. I'm going to try to do these funny car headers. these Corvette bumpers, which I don't even know why. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I think they'd look neat like on an old coupe or something on the back. I'm going to try to do these tires, fronts, and those slicks. They're kind of small, but in a lot of cars I work on, little cars, I could use them. And this little brake pedal and master cylinder assembly, I think I'm going to try to make one of them. I have another rear housing here that I was going to do, but I'm not really sure if that's necessary, because the one that's in the mold there is a much better piece. And I have big block Chevy engine there in the Clorox trying to get the paint off, so I'm going to make that. And I think that's probably all the casting for the moment. So let me get this floor pan off the seat here so I can sit down. And by the way, I'm doing this with my phone here. I'm not going to be able to edit. I've had some computer issues, and I got a second-hand MacBook, and I can't seem to connect this phone. Well, actually, I did connect it to be able to get the video on, but I can't find an editing deal. So for the time being, I'm just going to try to shoot this straight from the phone onto YouTube until I get my other computer fixed. But the Maverick, I got the rear housing, got the roll cage and interior. I made a shifter. Let's see if we can get over to this side. I scratch built a shifter and put a cable on it. Pedals are in. The hood had some warpage, and I put that in some hot water and got it pretty well straightened out. It's not perfect, but this hood doesn't really go with this body. I think this was I can't remember the name of the company that made the hood, but the body is a Comp Resins. And long story short, I had a four-door Maverick from Southern Motorsports Hobbies that I built somebody a Gap and Roush four-door Maverick, and the hood that came with it was terrible. So I ordered a hood from eBay, from which I believe was this same. No, actually, the one I ordered I've used on the four-door. I complained to the guy that I got at Southern Motorsports Hobby that the hood was junk, so he sent me another one. It's not a whole lot better. You can see it's really thin. I can't necessarily see my finger through it, but you can see the ribs. You can see it's thin. And I'm hoping I can make do with it. I'm going to be cutting a hole in it for the injectors, which go with on. This is the engine for the Maverick, and this is a whole piece that was cast by me from my my inventory. I had an overhead cam Ford engine, and I made a mold and made the whole thing. Made the manifold from another. I think that was actually a big block Chevy, but I'm not 100% sure. No, it couldn't have been, because the stacks are evenly spaced where big block Chevy's not. So I don't know what that came from. It was just something in the parts box. I keep getting out of focus here. And that's going to get real metal stacks in there, the really nice stacks. I can show you what they look like. I used them once before. They're like a machined aluminum. They're really nice, and they're pretty easy to use because they have that locator there. Just drill a hole in it and push it right down in the manifold, and you're done. But I drilled that. I made a barrel valve, drilled everything, and put the fuel hoses in. I'm going to try to get the top of the barrel valve, get the fuel line that would feed that from the tank. If everything goes according to plan, I'll have it. You can see there is a little flaw in this casting on both sides. The side of the head there is missing, but once the valve covers are on and the headers are on, it'll be fine. Nobody's ever going to see it. I got to scratch build a Hillborn pump, fuel pump for the front. So I got a lot of making things to do on this one, and the Fiat. It seems like everything, the last couple of things I'm getting into, I have a lot of scratch building to do. And I was trying to come up with on the Fiat here. I know I keep jumping from project to project, but you gotta bear with me. The Fiat, I was looking for a fuel tank and see if I can fit a fuel tank in there. So I took this funny car tank, and it was too tall, so I just kind of shortened the bottom of it. That's going to go in there. I think maybe I already showed the shifter that I made for this one too. And I put shifter cable on that also. Yeah, between this and the Maverick, they both get a lot of scratch building parts, and they're, get pretty time consuming. But it's fun. I enjoy it. I have time most of the time, so that's what I do. But anyway, I'm thinking that might be about it. That might be all I have going on right now, which is pretty much, actually. I'm waiting for more silicone to make these molds. I found a new kind to try, and I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit better, because it's supposed to be not quite as thick, so it should, run better around all the parts and dissipate the air bubbles better. I hope. But anyway, I'm pretty sure it will be better. It's a little more expensive, so it means it's got to be better, right? But I'm expecting that maybe tomorrow. It's Sunday now. I'm sure they're not coming on a Sunday, but they're supposedly shipping it out from Bangkok on Saturday, so it should be here probably tomorrow or Tuesday at the latest. And I'm kind of anxious to get making some more molds. Resin casting is just so addicting. I can't seem to stop myself. I find myself going through all my kits, which you can see under here. I've had these boxes open I don't know how many times looking for small parts that I can copy, and I've made a whole bunch of them. And it doesn't look like I have a lot of stash here, but like all those Pro Sportsman kits, you can see where it's marked 2 on the end or 3 on the one. That's how many chassis are in there from those kits. The Willy Borscht there, that has 2 complete cars in it. Now the Pro Sportsmans have no bodies. They're just, I bought them, I think I said before, when I was hoarding them things, and I just sell the bodies on eBay, so because I only wanted the chassis. So there's probably 2, 4, 7, 9, 10, 13, 15, 16. There's got to be over 20 left there. So I don't know why I'm still trying to make floor pans and everything. I got more than enough. But you always think you have more than enough, and at least I do. I come up with more and more projects, and I end up using them all up. So it's nice to have many extras. Alright, well at this point I'm just rambling and talking senseless, so I'm going to end this, and thank everybody for watching, and thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you next time.